Do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
My daughter was like, that actually looks kind of interesting. I thought the best review I could get.
Tomorrow on E.T., behind the scenes with Ben Affleck, how his new action film is giving wife J-Lo a run for her money.
This is me. Take it or leave it.
Make sure you check that out, and we've got one more thing to show you before we say goodbye. Take care, y'all.
It's Buddy Holly.
Happening now.
We're on the border in Del Rio where people are already lining up across the river waiting to cross once Title 42 comes to an end. Coming up, how local nonprofits are preparing for the influx of people.
And here in the Eagle Pass border sector, authorities and landowners also bracing for a potential wave of migrant crossings. What that impact could be coming up.
A brief break from the rain, but heavy showers and even the potential for severe storms is just around the corner. I'll be back in a bit to talk about it. The news at 5 starts right now.
The countdown to the end of Title 42 continues. The pandemic implemented rule granted the federal government the ability to expel migrants quickly without having to consider them for asylum.
With the end near comes the reality that there will be more people probably from other countries trying to cross. Border towns now preparing, and so are we. We have team coverage along the border, beginning with John Paul Barajas in Del Rio. John Paul?
Steve, Ursula, what I'm being told is they're being optimistic but preparing for the unknown. That's according to Del Rio city officials, as well as the nonprofit behind me, Border Humanitarian Coalition. Right here is actually where the migrants who come to Del Rio will be dropped off. And as you can tell, it is empty. And that's because this nonprofit's goal is to get migrants here as fast as possible, screen them, and then get them onto their next leg of the trip, because they technically don't have overnight housing here.
They have one objective while they're here, and that's to finalize their transportation to their destination.
Director of Operations for nonprofit Border Humanitarian Coalition, Tiffany Burrow, asked not to be shown, but had a message for migrants. Have a plan. According to city officials, city buildings and civic centers are prepared to be overnight shelters if the Del Rio sector sees too many migrants all at once.
There is a staff of 2 that are here. Our resources, our help comes through volunteers, both local, and we are completely booked throughout the summer.
Burrow adds they also receive lots of help from local churches. On top of that, they and the city have made upgrades to the facility like electrical work, plumbing, phone charging, and hand washing stations. Every little bit has helped, as today they saw 300 migrants.
We anticipate additional increase as we move forward into Thursday, Friday, and onward. Capacity right now is in the 700 range per day.
Now, some additional improvements they have also made out here are this green fencing. That orange area with the cones, they're actually going to repaint that to make it more noticeable for where migrants need to go. That way there's no confusion. They've also added extra porta potties. And then that pavilion there is very new. That's to help people out of the sun, get them into some shade, or if it starts to rain, just get them any type of shelter that they can get while they're here before they move on to the next leg of the trip. Coming up at 6, we'll be hearing from the Del Rio police chief about he's preparing for the end of Title 42. In Del Rio, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you so much, John Paul. Another border hotspot for migrant crossings, Eagle Pass. Out of the 1,200 miles along Texas border with Mexico, Eagle Pass was one of the busiest ports of entry last year. With Title 42 ending, the city is getting ready for an even bigger surge. Jonathan Cotto there now live. Jonathan, we've seen crowds of migrants massing in Mexico to cross in other cities. Is that also the case in Eagle Pass?
You know, Ursula, it's important to mention the city of Eagle Pass, or Maverick County for that matter, has not declared a state of emergency like other border cities have. However, this community has experienced significant migrant crossings in recent past and are anticipating to have the end of Title 42 to have a significant impact. Now, Mission Border Hope is a local nonprofit organization here in Eagle Pass that serves as a resource center for migrants. Now, when migrants arrive here, they are provided with meals. They are able to make phone calls. The center provides translators and also provides travel options in order for migrants to get to their destinations. Now, this center typically stays pretty busy, but now with the end of Title 42, it's gearing up for an increase in those seeking asylum. Now, we had a chance to speak with the executive director of Mission Border Hope, Valeria Wheeler, and although she was not able to speak on camera, she says they are preparing to serve people in a safe and orderly manner. She says Border Patrol has been dropping off up to 400 migrants a day, more than any other border community at the moment, and says they are anticipating getting up to 1,000 migrants once the pandemic era rule comes to an end, and that'll be coming in to an end in just a couple of hours. Now, we are learning that Piedras Negras as well as Eagle Pass leadership met with Mexico in a binational meeting in an effort of organizing and planning a unified response to the impact Title 42 will have and the number of migrants crossing that will be looking to get into the U.S. But now, local law enforcement agencies and leadership aren't the only ones that are bracing for this impact. Landowners have their concerns as well, and we'll have those details coming up at 6. Reporting live from Eagle Pass, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. It's official. The city of San Antonio now moving forward to begin eminent domain proceedings to acquire the property where the bar Moses Roses now stands. Monday was the deadline for the owner of the downtown bar, Vince Cantu, to accept the city and the Alamo Trust's final offer for his property. Last month, the city presented Cantu with a final offer of $5.26 million. He refused it, saying the offer should be $9 million. The Moses Roses hideout is on East Houston Street, sits steps away from the Alamo, inside the proposed $400 million Alamo Plaza redesign plan area. Cantu has vowed to fight eminent domain.
A nearly year-old drive-by murder growing cold, but police think someone knows something that can help solve this one. That murder outside of Joseph Silva's apartment. It was on West Commerce back in August. Police say that Silva and his roommate were outside that apartment in the 6500 block of West Commerce Street, not far from Callahan Road. A gray four-door vehicle pulled into the parking lot. Someone inside the vehicle started shouting at Silva. That person then pulled out a gun and started shooting. Silva was killed, the roommate seriously wounded, and the car, it got away. SAPD and the Crime Stoppers unit is offering up to $5,000 for information leading to arrests in this murder case. If you know something, call 210-224-STOP.
2 suspects arrested and charged with aggravated robbery. That incident happened last month. 38-year-old Robert Briggs and 56-year-old Tina Mackey, accused of pointing a gun at the victim and demanding money and other possessions. According to a police affidavit, Briggs and Mackey, along with the victim, were doing drugs when the victim stated he needed to get money from the bank to pay for those drugs. Investigators say Mackey and the victim went to the bank while Briggs stayed behind. Police say when they returned, Briggs held the victim at gunpoint and demanded he pay what he owed. Briggs then allegedly told the victim to empty his pockets. According to police, Briggs and Mackey got away with $225 worth of items, including a cell phone.
An abandoned house that normally has no one in it somehow burning to the ground on the south side last night. This is in the 1000 block of March Avenue. Firefighters say that the flames started shooting out of this home near Roosevelt Avenue in Stinson Park at around 11:45 last night. Firefighters say squatters may have been inside this house before the fire began, but they're still investigating to learn how it started. No injuries were reported.
It changes at Harlandale. Beginning Monday, the Harlandale ISD will implement a new no backpack policy across the district. The superintendent says the measure is to increase safety on district campuses as the school year draws to a close. A letter outlining the new policy was made available to parents today. In it, the superintendent says this will be the policy until the end of the year. Students will be able to use small bags, clear bags, or 1-gallon Ziploc bags to keep their cell phones and money in. Students who need to carry a medical device are exempt, but they must receive prior approval. The White House and members of Congress appear no closer to striking a deal on the debt limit, which experts say could actually spark economic chaos as soon as June 1st. Despite no signs of progress, follow-up talks are scheduled for this Friday with President Joe Biden and top House and Senate leaders.
But just today, the president traveled to New York, warning voters of some of the economic damage he says would occur if the two sides cannot come to an agreement. ABC's Justin Finch in Washington breaking down the potential fallout.
Clear rifts over the debt ceiling remain following President Biden's Gang of Four meeting with the top leaders in the House and Senate. Today, Biden traveled to a Republican congressional district in New York to blame MAGA Republicans for the inability to reach a deal on raising the debt limit and how it would impact Americans. During Tuesday's Oval Office meeting, the president and Senate leader Chuck Schumer accused House Speaker Kevin McCarthy of being the lone holdout, refusing to commit to raising the debt limit.
Speaker McCarthy must commit to taking default off the table.
The Treasury Secretary and other financial leaders urgently warning that time is running out.
I was very clear with the president. We have now just 2 weeks to go.
While Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell publicly said the U.S. will not default, he also told Biden to not attempt to go around Congress and use the 14th Amendment to raise the debt ceiling.
Just one way to prevent a pointless, avoidable crisis, the bipartisan negotiation with Speaker
McCarthy and congressional Republicans want spending cuts before approving a debt limit hike. The White House wants no preconditions. A debt ceiling increase would allow the U.S. government to pay for expenses it already owes. The nation could hit default as early as June 1st, which experts say could result in a global economic catastrophe. The president plans to meet with those same congressional leaders on Friday. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Check out traffic right now. Let's go to 410 and Jackson Keller, where you can see there's a bit of a slowdown, actually quite a bit of a slowdown. I believe this is as 410 winds towards I-10 there, the exit to get onto I-10. So it looks like the eastbound lanes moving along pretty well. It's the westbound lanes that have the slowdown there as you approach I-10.
Not much showing up on the radar this afternoon. It's looking like a dry afternoon and evening. We've got one little shower near Moulton and Shiner, and that's about it. Very brief splash and dash shower pushing off to the north. The rest of us dry and we're squeezing in some sunshine. 91 Eagle Pass, 93 Del Rio. Those are the warmest temperatures. 82 Santa Maria, Bernie 81, and right now near Lavernia we're at 83 degrees, but Seguin still 79. Temperatures falling through the 70s this evening, and as we go through the evening hours, those lingering showers are going to be far, far east of town. Most of us will be dry this evening, but get ready for a round of heavy rain just around the corner. Yes, we'll have a brief chance to dry out here, but some severe weather and heavy rain is on the way. I'll time that out for you and let you know how much we could see and where. Just a bit, Ursula.
Thank you, Adam. It's time to put your betting to the test. How to know if you're getting the best quality for your slumber.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the KSAT newsroom with a look at what's coming your way today on the news at 6 o'clock. A 20-year-old woman charged with capital murder in court today and accepting a deal on a lesser charge in this case. The terms of that plea and how much time she could be spending in jail. Plus, how many drinks did Clayton Perry actually have on the night of his drunken hit and run? Police have said one thing, his attorney has said another. We went through the newly obtained video to get to the bottom of it. All that and more today on the news at 6.
Thank you, Myra. A good, comfortable night's sleep is the best, right? A good mattress is important, but sometimes your pillow or sheets could need an upgrade.
12 size Marilyn Moritz with some information that will help you snooze better.
Waking up sore or tossing and turning, your nightmare could be your pillow.
A lot of people pay attention to the mattress, but a mattress and a pillow work in tandem to keep your spine aligned.
You're going to need a pillow that bounces back with a quick fluff. This resilience test checks for that. Consumer Report says this Coop Home Goods adjustable pillow is resilient and supports both back and side sleepers. You can add or remove filling to your liking. They also recommend this one from Comfort Revolution for side sleepers. Now the sheets. CR-tested sheets made from natural fabrics like cotton and linen, and some made from polyester. Those are usually labeled microfiber. They checked fit, washed and dried them 25 times to check shrinkage, and they tested fiber strength. If you sleep hot, consider breathability.
So you're going to get the best sleep from breathable fabrics. So cotton, linen, those fabrics are breathable and will help you sleep more comfortably.
For cotton, they recommend these from LL Bean or these Brooklyn and Lux Core sheets. If you want a crisp sheet, think cotton percale. Sateen sheets are silkier. Synthetic sheets cost less. This mainstay set from Walmart passed the strength and shrink test. Sweet dreams. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Not exactly good sleeping weather we've got out there right now. Pretty muggy.
Well, yesterday was. All that rain? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. Adam.
Yeah, yesterday was a good day for sleeping with the rain and the dampness. And today we have the sunshine out. We're going to have another break from the rain tomorrow. I do think we'll have 2 days here where it's generally going to be dry. So baseball practice, soccer games, whatever you have, or just outdoor fun. Today, tomorrow, I think you'll be okay. But get ready for some heavy rain to move in by Friday night and last into the weekend, with a few severe storms possible and flash flooding the concern as we get into this upcoming weekend. Take a look at our rain and storm chances. Tomorrow, I gave it just 10% in the afternoon. Yeah, we could see a sprinkle in the morning with the low clouds. Otherwise, actual rain and storms, 10% in the afternoon. Friday up to 40%, that's later in the day. Then especially Friday night through Saturday, we're up to 80%. And then I do think some of this activity will even linger on into Sunday, 60% at that point. So widespread Saturday, scattered on Sunday, intermittent rain, heavy at times. That's the key. And even lingering into next week, I think Monday some showers are going to hang around periodically. Out there currently, not a lot to talk about. I mentioned this one little shower near Moulton and Shiner. It's starting to fall apart. Nothing really left of this as it just about clips Moulton. You're not going to see much more than a trace of rain out of that. And that should, for the most part, be it. We could see some showers closer to the Gulf Coast this evening, but that would be, I think, the exception. Here's the big picture. And you look off to the north. It's actually a pretty active pattern. We've got a few swirls over Texas, moving into Louisiana as well. And then this one over the Four Corners region, that swirl's kicking off severe weather up the plains and just east of the Front Range there, the Rockies. And this is going to be changing a little bit, but it's going to work in our favor for more significant rain chances in the days ahead. Let's go through our futurecast here. These two systems move away from us. We get another low that digs into northern Mexico and West Texas, and that's going to put us in a favorable position for that widespread rain to be heavy at times Friday night and then off and on throughout the day on Saturday and even lingering into Sunday as well. Drought-stricken parts of Texas, going to see some good rain out of this. This is a good drought denter, and I'd even venture to say drought buster. I've got the feeling to kick when I say that, a drought buster for some areas. I'm going to drought buster. I didn't want to show off my sneakers. I have a bad back, so I wear sneakers.
I know, don't hurt yourself.
Anyway, so I have to go with the cushion. Normally you don't see them. Anyway, let's get back to this. Heaviest rain, if you were to fold Texas in half sideways, heaviest rain right up and down the middle there. We're talking just west of 281. How much? Widespread 4 to 6 inches likely across most of the KSAT 12 viewing area. Isolated higher amounts because we'll get in a situation where some of those showers will follow each other or train, and that's where we'll have the highest accumulations. You go farther east of 281, less than 3 inches. Friday evening is when we have to watch out for the severe weather. West of 281, the highest risk, the scattered category, a 2 of 5 there, locally a 1 out of 5. And that's when we're going to be watching for some larger hail to come in from Mexico and even some straight line winds. But I think that's our primary severe weather threat would be on Friday. Mainly flash flooding concerns as we get into the weekend. 80 right now, but a humid and sticky 80. Dew point is 70. And you look at the big picture, the clouds have cleared out here, so we're near 80 degrees or in the lower 80s around town, but we've had full sunshine all day. Del Rio 94, Laredo 96, 92 in Midland, whereas East Texas in the 70s still. We start tomorrow at 71, make it to 87, low clouds early and a few sprinkles, then a sunny afternoon again, just like today. 89 on the west side, 90 in Divine tomorrow, Nixon, Smiley 88. And there you have it, that heavier drought denting and drought busting rain coming up Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Not the best weather for Mother's Day, but let mom be lazy inside, right?
That's right.
He did a couple kicks off camera there, if you were wondering.
For those just listening.
Yeah. Hey, imagine it. If you
Who needs Chuck Norris when you have Adam Cassidy?
Exactly right. Although
Karate
Adam
Kid
does have a bad back, he said. So
Icy hot for later.
So this is a local kid who not only played for the Spurs, he contributed to a championship.
He did big time. So we're talking about Devin Brown, who was born, I believe, in Utah, but he came here to San Antonio at a very young age, went to West Campus, and now he's a member of the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame. Plus, why was the Joker so close to the Suns' huddle last night? Coming up. Former San Antonio Spurs shooting guard Devin Brown is all set for his induction into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame. Brown played prep ball at West Campus High School and then went to UTSA, where he left as the Roadrunners' all-time leading scorer with 1,922 points. That record has since been broken. Brown had 2 stints with the Spurs, including 2003 through 05, when he helped them win their 3rd NBA title in 2005, beating the Pistons in 7 games. So Devin is going in with pro golfer Jimmy Walker, Olympic track and field coach Rose Monday, former Churchill volleyball coach Wanda Bingham, and former Trinity women's tennis coach Emily Burr Foster. The San Antonio Hall of Fame induction ceremony is Saturday at the Henry B. Gonzalez Center. So the 7th seed Los Angeles Lakers can close out the 6th seed and defending NBA champion Golden State Warriors tonight. LA had to win a play-in game to even make the postseason, and now they're on the cusp of sending the Splash Brothers home. So what is the mindset for both teams as they head into a closeout game at Golden State?
It feels like what it is. 3-1, you go home and you take care of business and you get a win, and the momentum is right back in your favor.
When you play Golden State, you don't have an opportunity to relax. You just don't. So I'm not worried about us going in there comfortable. You just can't do it versus Golden State. It's not possible.
Game 5 is tonight at 9 in San Francisco. Suns and Nuggets, Game 5 last night. Nikola Jokic and Suns owner Matt Isbia showing some love after their incident in Game 4. Late 3rd quarter, during a dead ball, the Suns are gathering around head coach Monty Williams when Bruce Brown and Jokic get too close, so Jock Landale and Kevin Durant pushed them away, with KD giving the Joker a forearm shiver. A double technical was called on Durant and Brown. Denver wins at 118-102, taking a 3-2 series lead. Now check out the Joker's honesty when he was asked about what he was doing near to the Suns' huddle.
Just to see what they're driving, just to see the play. I think that they can help us a lot. And that's what I was doing.
I'll just keep stuff simple and play hard, man. And just try not to complicate it too much. It's a basketball game at the end of the day. So go out there and play as hard as you can. Stay disciplined with the game plan, and let's let the chips fall where they may. So I'm excited for Game 6.
Phoenix will host Denver in Game 6 tomorrow night at 9. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, he was honest.
I love it.
Yeah, I wanted to see what they were doing, what they were drawing up.
A bit incriminating, though. We'll be right back. We have much more coverage from the border coming up at 6.
Thanks for watching The 5. World News is up next.